All right. We're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. Oh, we going to get it right this time around, y'all. We got a little glitches over here, but we're still going to have a great time. Bookworm in the building. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Legacy Lounge. Pappin. All right, so we got to get you up on this main screen. All right. Pappin Ton McGee. Let's get it.
You know, let me get my life together first, family. But go ahead.
I was trying to get my life together, and then I hit the co-host button because I thought that was gonna bring you in. It did not.
Keep playing that background music.
You like my background music?
Give me what I need.
Let's get it. Let me go ahead and put you on the main screen, honey, because you doing what need to be done.
And meanwhile, listen, because you know I was watching when you had Donnie up in here.
I thought I was bringing you up in here. That's what I was like.
See, you to open up a new. See, look what you done. Look what you did, dear. Because
don't tell me
whatever inspired me to come to TikTok in the first place, honestly, was Miss Terry Joe.
But we didn't even do all of that yet, huh? We didn't even.
Terry Joe's lives. That's all Terry Joe do. Besides the bit of being crazy Terry Joe, Keelan just goes and makes people co-host, and I didn't realize that's what it was. So he just make a person a co-host and invite them into the live, and that's when they do the banter. So what you just did with Mr. Donnie, he was rocking and jamming. I think that we need to get on the bandwagon, and I hate a bandwagon, so we need to build a bandwagon.
Free game. So listen, let me move this instrumental back one more time because I kind of like it. It's literally called 90s R&B Jodeci type, right? All right, y'all. Listen, you know what we're going to do before we even get this thing started? Loda got us in the building. Nisha, two of our mods. Thank y'all so very much for making sure y'all doing what y'all doing and sharing that thing out so people know. Also, hey, JV in the building. Thank you for the heart me. Also, Shakia holding us down on that repost, baby. We out here doing what needs to be done. So, y'all, we're going to give it a few more before we even get to the questioning because, baby, we're not just going to jump right into it. We got to warm you up a little bit so people are not requesting up. So, listen, this is not the regular nightcap, nor the gig, or just vibing, or SOS. This, as Pappin would say, is the Legacy Lounge. Get into it. Now, y'all, this thing was supposed to be launched across the street. And in my mind, I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna hold y'all. Y'all know I'm the queen of creating a show every 5 minutes. So I said to myself, let me go ahead and just do it again. So, y'all, let me get 1 second and let me turn off the request because I don't want anybody to pop up. I do not want that. So y'all give me 1 second. Let me turn that off. All right. And this is what I like. So again, I said to myself as I was volleying back and forth across the street, it's like, look, we all have something special. What's going on, Tafan? And I have the gift of gab. We know that. And I like to do the blah, blah. And I like to get up in your business to a degree. So I was like, why not do something that's interviewing people, putting them in a space and actually getting down to the nitty gritty of it? Not just a run of the mill question. Thank you. I was about to say, I can't do it up there. But really getting into it and curating an experience for y'all and not just the typical questions that you may be used to. So y'all, I got my, as Pappin would pick on me back in the day, my Oprah Winfrey on, honey. Yes, I am. So y'all, before I start this, I'm gonna need 1K. Give me 1K. And we're going to get into it. But we're just going to groove to the instrumentals because we're going to be decent and in order. You like my straw?
Get us to 1K. Yeah. Get us to 1K. Hey. Let's do 1K.
And wasn't playing. You see how quick that went up to 1K, right? Absolutely. Y'all, once again, let me know where you're checking in from in the chat. Thank you so much for sharing this out. It's the man, the myth, the legend right here, the Pappington McGee, as I call him, Ambonian. He knows, and we'll get into that. You're tapping in from home, Nisha. Nisha, the people don't know where home is. Let them know in the comment section where home is. Y'all, I'm out here in Maryland, so shout out to everybody in Maryland. Define, I know you out here in Maryland, so shout out to you. Also, North Carolina in the house. And let me know what those degrees look like as well. You see, there's a different background. Testing it out over here. Chicago, I know it's freezing boots out there. Big shouts out there to you once again. 28 degrees. Wow. And we know Ash is in New York. We know that. Thank y'all so very much for already making the Legacy Lounge a success. Jenny, you're in Chicago as well. So fine, we got to do some ATL in the building. Aqua M. Mama Pappin. Mama Pappin represent Connecticut. And we know JB was here earlier. He's out there in New Jersey. So again, y'all, I'm telling y'all right now, the questions are curated and get into it. Bookworm here from Virginia. I used to live in Virginia a couple years back. Love that. Love that for me. All right, y'all, listen. Once again, I'm going to have to give y'all that little introduction. Bear with me. Sorry, it's not memorized, but you know how that go. I like to go off the cuff sometimes. So, the Legacy Lounge. Welcome to the Legacy Lounge, a space created for real conversation, real stories, and real connection. This is not your run-of-the-mill type of interview because, baby, I don't do that. You will not hear recycled questions or surface-level conversations here. You will, with every episode, have a curated experience intentionally designed around the person sitting right in that seat. That means the questions are thoughtful, they're personal, they're layered, and they're also meant to spark reflection, not just responses. We're going to get up in there. They are meant to give you a deeper dive into the person's life, whoever that is sitting on that side of the screen. The Legacy Lounge is about legacy, purpose, growth, healing, and evolution. The journey that shapes who we are and the stories that deserve to be told with care and respect. This is a moment, one that cannot be duplicated because with every guest, every story, and every conversation, they're uniquely their own. So tonight, we are not just talking, we are unpacking, we are reflecting, and we're honoring the journey. So welcome once again, Pappin to the Legacy Lounge. Y'all, make sure you use those emojis. I want to see it. And also, if you have questions for Pappin toward the Q&A section, please make sure that you put them in there, and we're going to get to it. Pappin, listen, I can say a million things about you, and they would all be correct. But I want you to put some dip on your chip right now and let them know who you are.
Wow,
Let's get it.
That's only a million, huh? I was thinking more of a quadrillion, but it's all right. It's all right. What's up? Salutation, family? It's your boy Pappin, host, okay, of the gig right here on Verse and Vision Live, co-founder of Verse and Vision Live. Listen, as Eva the artist says, the homeboy you didn't know that you needed. Okay, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm a vocal producer, I'm a stylist. I sometimes can be, I might have a jiggle or two, so I might get my choreography foot on there sometimes. But all the way around, I am a human being with a lot of talent, and I'm just blessed to even be on Verse and Vision Live, on TikTok, on the planet right now, doing my thing. So thank y'all for pulling up, and I really appreciate y'all for coming in and checking out my interview tonight.
Listen. It was a long time coming, but here it is. And it's a wonderful thing that we're kicking it off right with Pappin. Again, the host of the gig. Pappin, tell them when the gig is one more time for folks who are just coming in.
Pull up, family. Okay, listen, if you're a singer, dancer, songwriter, poet, all of the above, if you're a human being or an alien, pull up to the gig on Saturday and Sundays, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, we rock out, we live, love, laugh, and spread it, which is the mantra over there on the gig. And we just cultivate a space where people can come and feel safe. I always say it's like the cookout, but it's also like the den. If you used to watch Moesha, it's like that community. If you used to watch Saved by the Bell, it's like being in the cafeteria. You know what I'm saying? It's that
the max
space. So pull up to the gig whenever you feel like it. But I'm here every weekend rocking with you.
And we love that. All right. So y'all continue to tap up that screen. We're trying to have the most taps tonight on this interview. So again, thank you so very much for the hot me's. Shakia, big mind in the building. Y'all, we got 3. Listen, they here, they supporting, they represent, they doing what they got to do because we already know 2026, we're not playing games, but we're about to get into this interview. So thank you so very much for being, you know what, for even saying yes to the interview. Because just because you're here don't mean you could have been like, look, I'm big and busy. I want to do something else. I don't want to do that right now, Cap. You got too many shows going on because you know this is like show 12 million. But this one, as I said, I'm the most excited about because I feel like it puts me more in a space, not where it's comfortable per se, because I feel like talking is natural. You know that for me. But I really just get to zone in on a person and give them my undivided. So we're going to start off with a few questions from childhood. You know, we're even going to go over mental health, which is a topic that you discuss a lot, and future things, past, present. We're going to get into all of the things. So again, y'all, after the interview, make sure y'all go to our TikTok shop because we got merch for sale. And Pappin has a candle. I'm just throwing that out there. All right. So, Pappin, when you think back to your childhood, what is one moment that still defines who you are today, better or worse?
Well, first off, thank you again for having me here. That is an amazing question. You have to make me think about my childhood. The many, many years ago that was. Even though, but even though I'm only 15, I don't understand the math and how it works. But the reality is, you know, people always. This is going to be a weird answer. People ask me things I taken away from my childhood, and the one thing I do miss and that I still have is a certain type of innocence. To, like I've been in rooms with Beyonce before. You know what I'm saying? I have been in rooms with people of power and legacy, and I have been able to possibly squirm my way or curate my way into bigger situations, but but I don't believe in like a lot of the machine. I believe in like the innocence of the world, like how children see beauty, love, togetherness. I still hold a lot of those morals. So that's something that I hold on to like from my childhood, and it's something that a lot of people are saying, you need to grow up, or oh, grown men do this and grown men do that. But this grown man continues to have that inner child's voice as a guide going through. So I can continue to see the humanity in things. Because, child, everything out here is robotic. Hello, we on TikTok, honey.
That is a fact. That is a fact. And I love that. There has to be a certain part of innocence that we still carry. And I think that's what keeps us youthful. And it keeps us from being, the fuddy duddies that we never wanted to be. I'm telling you, I talk about that all the time. And that's why I also stress do what you need to do so you're not the old person in the corner mad at everybody else.
Okay.
So you got to have that innocence. Okay, love that. Now, what did a little Pappin dream of becoming before life started shaping and reshaping those dreams? So what did you want to do before, and did you always know what you wanted to do?
When I was little, at first I used to think I was so basic because I wanted to be a doctor because doctors helped people. And
I did not know that.
But I did not know that doctors come in many different shapes, sizes, and practices. I didn't understand that you can be a doctor in psychology. You can you can get a doctorate and be a doctor like Dr. Bill Cosby, but you could also be a medical doctor. You can save lives in a lot of different ways, and that was something I wanted to be when I was a little kid. That was something I would always say until I found the gift of art, and like I express art through singing, through writing, through fashion, through politics, through just how I move and shake in my life. And so art taught me like, oh, no, bitch, this is what I do. This is what I do. Like I used to sit in front of the TV and act like I was announcing the person who was coming on for that night. So Arsenio Hall was coming on tonight. I'd be like, ladies and gentlemen, Arsenio Hall. And, and I just always felt like I was supposed to be on there. And that's something that I've been on that ride ever since. I'm still riding on that thing. The wheels may be a little crunchy, but they still rolling.
I love that. And I can say I truly did not know that about you. I did not know because at the time I met you, we were young. Yeah, but I never recalled. Maybe I never asked. I just because in my mind I've always just wanted one thing. So I haven't really thought outside of that. So to know that, Dr. Pappin, huh?
Dr.
Now,
Pappin, baby, is good and nice.
do do do. I love that. Y'all put in the chat what y'all wanted to be when you were younger versus what you're doing now. I would love to read that, y'all. As we keep the dialogue moving as well. Don't forget to keep tapping up that screen. We want the most taps on tonight. So, growing up, what did you need the most that you didn't receive?
My mom's watching this. Oh. Um,
Hey, Mama Pappin, tap that screen.
I'm gonna say this because it's something I still yearn for outside of myself, and it's validation.
Mm-hmm.
It's my mom did a tremendous job. Let me tell you something. And I didn't. I've been that spoiled brat arguing and telling her like, "Oh, you couldn't do it like me," and she looking at me like, "Who, nigga? Who you talking to?" And I'm like, going in because I was a introverted child posing as an extrovert out there wanting to express art, loving it, singing, dancing, theater, and
Mm-hmm.
above. And sometimes I needed the people around me to say, "Oh, you ate that. Oh, yes, my little boy, he sings. Oh, my little boy, this." And all my family members, because I was a hefty kid, wanted me to do the sports gig. And I was still discovering myself at that time, honey. Listen, I was listening to Celine Dion and TLC and Tupac, okay, and NWA, okay. I was
And sure.
immature. I wasn't
Put some
listening to
respect on
immature. I was
it.
embodying that era. But I was still in a lot of places of discovery, and the things that people wanted me to do, I didn't understand why they didn't embrace the things that I not only could do, but that I wanted to do. But like I said, my mom, she's the person, listen, drove me to my auditions, drove me to like when I had a chorus, and she's like, "You in another chorus now?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am. I auditioned and I got in." And she's like, "Get in the damn car." So that is the cultivation, and she took me to shows. She took me to when we were on Family Double Dare years and years ago when I was a kid, and it was when they brought it to our civic center, and my mom took us to things that were outside of just, I hate to say this, but just the regular black ghetto kids, what they would normally do. She tried to show us adventure based off of our interests in the best way that she could, because she didn't understand that stuff. She didn't, in my mind, she didn't like singing and stuff. When my teacher would try to talk to her, like, Jerome's pitch and stuff, and she like, "Okay, he in trouble." You know what I'm saying? So, uh, I guess that's answering your question. But again, it's all about validation and just wanting to hear it.
Mhm. Well, I definitely can resonate with that. I just ended up creating a little bubble that I just live and still live in, and that's what that is. So, and I just validate myself because at this point, I'm like, whatever it is, I set out to do, I'm going to do. So, I definitely understand you there.
Yeah.
Now, even in saying that, who believed in you before you fully believed in yourself?
Mm. There's a few people, but I will say I had amazing teachers, especially when it came to in the academic world, where the music teachers that I came across always told me I had something special, always allowed me to express creativity in whatever setting it was. So I always had that coming up. Personally, like I said, my mother uplifted me in a specific way, and my dad, when he was around, he did as well. A lot of people, but I had an aunt. I went to California when I was about 9 or 10 years old, and my aunt Pat, a God rest her soul, we were in her kitchen, and I used to love me some Shira. Okay, let me tell you something.
Okay.
Shira, dun, 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 dun. Let me tell you something. I live for He Man, but I live for Shira. Okay, He-Man was everything, but She-Ra had the better theme song. She had better outfits. Okay, her powers were cuter. Okay, but but when I was a kid, my mother and everything bought me He-Man. Bought me all this stuff because I'm a boy, and I enjoyed She-Ra a little bit too much. Where I wasn't attracted to She-Ra, I almost kind of wanted to be She-Ra a little bit. Okay, how I'm doing, and Aunt Pat caught me one day singing that song, going in, swinging them arms, popping that tongue, acting like I was her. And I was scared. He was like, oh, shamages. He ended up telling me, baby, you be whoever you want to be, whoever you are. Okay. If you She-Ra, then you be She-Ra. Okay. And that has always stuck with me. Like she's like, you want to sing to the top of your lungs. Be She-Ra, be that. That encouraged me to be the individual that I continue to be. Where people telling me, oh, people don't wear that here, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cute. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Or people don't say that type of stuff. They're okay, shamages. You know what I'm saying? So my Aunt Pat is definitely a very big inspiration. And my grandmother has a friend named Johnny May who also taught me how to make my cheesecake, my iconic cheesecakes that I've been making over the past few years. She always believed me. She just thought I was going to be Michael Jackson. She just thought I was going to be Beyonce Knowles Carter Pappin. She just listen, even up to date, listen, I can still see you doing it, baby. And I'm just like, okay, sir, girl, watch Verse and Vision live. And this is the gig, okay? Literally. But those two people stand out in my mind, aside from like my great music teachers like Mr. Martineau, who curated my music journey through high school. But I'll say Aunt Pat and Johnny May really stand out as telling me, you got this, girl, boy, or whoever you want to be. I'm a boy, by the way, y'all. I'm a guy.
I love that, and I love how you went back and you really lived in that moment just then. Like, look, this is what this was, because words are seeds, and whatever we plant are allowed to be planted in our lives. We're the ones who are watering that. So, and we tend to water the more negative things than we do the positive. So sometimes it's harder to believe in ourselves, even when people are in our corner and they are rooting for us. So I love that, Pat. And you said Johnny May.
Pat and Johnny May, yes.
Come on, old school. John, I love that. Johnny May, I already knew she would play it. All right. So with that being said, what did music give you that people could not?
Ooh, a voice. Because I heard music. I used to think that, when you become a musician, you start to hear terms. Okay. Just like if you were a member of, I'm not going to do that. We on TikTok. It's just like if you're a member of any different organization, y'all have certain language. You become part of that world. Music and musicianship is the same way. You learn terms and you learn what certain things are. And having an ear is one of the biggest things that a true musician can possess, because being able to hear that thing is being able to manipulate your way through it. Music gave me a voice because I was the person hearing a song that was already written with a melody, with a beat. As soon as it come on, I can sing in between it. I can fill in blanks. I can do little stuff like that. And I didn't realize back in the day that was songwriting. That's vocal production. That's the stuff that now everybody on TikTok, like, yeah, I'm a vocal producer. I'm 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the reality was at 12, some of us was vocal producers.
That's a fact.
And so it really opened up my voice, because not only just to talk, sometimes talking, people are like, oh, shut up. You think you know stuff. You think you know that, until they can hear you can sing. And they're like, oh, well, I'll listen to you a little bit. Even if you're singing like, oh, the shit is at the end of the toilet paper, like, whatever. It's like, if it's compelling enough, they want to hear it, especially if you can do a little run to it. You know what I'm saying? So,
do you remember your first song you ever wrote?
Absolutely. What?
I need this. Give.
Because at 8 years old, I knew I knew heartbreak. I knew that I already been through life. And I'm sitting there writing a song about some, I don't love you anymore because you left me sitting out in the rain. I don't love you anymore because you put me through so much pain.
Come on.
I don't love you anymore. That was my first ever. I wrote the
You got me missing
melody.
y'all.
I was like 8, 9, and I was like, when I think about it, what pain did I go through? Okay, listen, gas. Like I don't know, but
Oh my, I gotta get on camera. I'm sorry. I got real tears over here, y'all. Y'all got to excuse me.
seriously, listen,
Kia says at 8 years old, question mark. I
because
can't.
the funny thing is, Tia, my sister, we had a group
Uh-huh.
together named 411 back in the day. We just knew we were the next big thing. The first song that we did together wasn't a real song, but it was melodies. So it was Cocoa Butter. And now I think about the Dr. Pepper thing. It was literally I gotta get the note right. Cocoa butter, oh my god, I can't remember, but it was like cocoa butter. I said a cocoa butter, cocoa butter, cocoa butter. That's how it went. Cocoa butter, cocoa butter, cocoa butter. Ow! I said a cocoa butter, and that was our little chant. Okay, you can't tell us we didn't have a hit on our hands when we was doing cocoa butter, honey.
Listen, and what you could do is put a little video up and be like, Dr. Pepper Baby. You might do it. I don't know. Hey, the sky is never the limit, honey, because we breaking ceilings around here. I love that. Now, that part closes out the first part of the interview. But what we're going to do is take a pause for the cause. And y'all, we need 10K. We need 10K before we give y'all the second part of this interview. Because as much as y'all are interacting in the comment section, we're definitely going to need those taps to go up because we need more people in here. Because this interview, listen, y'all already learned so much in a little bit of time. Wait till it gets deeper. So y'all get the tap in 10K. Let's get it. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Now, Pappin, now keep thinking now. Because you brought up 411. So the next part we're going to talk about is the music journey and the boy band era. That is the next part. So y'all want to stay tuned. I know, right? Y'all want to stay
Tap it
tuned.
up.
So we
Tap
can
it
get
up. Tap it up.
hey, 500 more, and we're gonna get right into that second part. You all, thank y'all so very much for joining us thus far on the Legacy Lounge. This is the debut episode with Pappin, host of the gig here Saturdays and Sunday on Verse and Vision Live, founder, motivational, big brother, homie, all of the things. Pappin, as I call him, Hambonian. But that's an inside joke, but we'll get to that later. All right, y'all, listen. Once again, I want y'all to know how much it means to us to have y'all in here. And also, after we are done, this will be uploaded to the YT so y'all can make sure you can go back. And it's a good thing I restarted it because I want to make sure the main thing is the main thing. So, and also, this is not the only interview, but just the only one today. Thank y'all so much for the 10K. The next one, we do have a Case Fast interview and a JV interview. And then the bros going to get together and interview me. Ooh wee. So I'm afraid. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the questions are, and I want to be surprised. So if you just want an inside look at the folks, this is it. So thank y'all so very much as we are almost at 11K. Appreciate y'all so very much. Now this is going to be the music journey and the boy band era because there's nothing wrong with that phrase. Even a lot of people trip over the boy band. We all love a good boy band. So you were once part of several groups because I know you to be a part of a few of them. So the boy band era. First of all, do you take offense to that whole term, boy band?
No, and actually, I love that you were able to remind the folks and the people over here that I does, and did that. Because I am a product of the boy band era, and I got to be a part of that world, and I was in it, so I feel a part of it. So my peers are Boyz II Men, Justin Timberlake, and B2K.
All right. Don't forget Immature.
Oh, immature. We
Jaylon, we see you. Hey, Jaylon, listen, this is the Legacy Lounge, the debut episode of our interview series. So please make sure you are tuning in and tapping it and sharing it out. Do not forget to share this thing out, y'all. We're trying to break that algorithm today and get in people's faces even more. So, in your boy band era, what did that season teach you about talent, teamwork, and rejection?
Ooh, well, definitely it taught me that talent Okay. Oh, Shamages, thank you for the love. Okay, come through.
Hey, 2 times.
Hey,
Love it.
it taught me about that talent. Definitely comes different shapes, sizes, colors, and flavors, honey. Okay, I didn't have a huge musical background because it wasn't like I grew up with, people playing instruments around me or doing things like that. I learned all of that going to school and finding it myself. Joining a boy group helped me outside of when I was in choirs. Learn first off, I vocal produce and I write. It taught me about harmony. It taught me about blend. It taught me about listening to the different parts. It taught me how to pick parts. It taught me how to, again, just figure out like, growing up, I never understood Q's voice from, at first. I didn't understand Q from 112's voice. I didn't understand him. But then becoming a writer and a producer, I understand why he's singing lead, why the other people are doing backgrounds. I understood how to navigate through the different realms of talent. Talent wasn't just the one style of singing that one person was singing. Because Cisco may have been hollering over here, but Mark Anthony sings a different way. And singing with those two different type of people are all talent. So I learned that being in a group for one thing. As far as you said rejection,
I said talent, teamwork, and rejection.
and I think the talent and teamwork work together. Like it's cutthroat being in a boy band because you're one unit, but you're still trying to maintain an individuality because you don't want to get lost in the sauce. You want to definitely be one of the main ingredients because without that, they can't make the sauce. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to. Then politics come on top of that because I learned that. Oh yeah, I used to hear this all the time. You sound amazing, but he looks better. Or we're going to use your song, but we're going to put him in the picture. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, okay, well, shamages. You know what I'm saying back then, and that plays into the rejection part. You know what I'm saying? Where I was like, oh, damn, they're doing people dirty over here. You like that's why when you get older, you heard that it was Martha Wash singing certain vocals, but they had some white broads dancing in the video. And it's like, as even though Martha Wash sings the house down, nobody wanted to see her in that house. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things. If that makes sense to you, and y'all
It does. Because I know the same thing. So basically, you had like a dream girls moment, really,
preach,
to a degree.
preach. Yes, definitely. I feel like because again, following the trajectory of success, like people was equating getting to making music as trying to become famous, and it'd be nice to have been famous, and that was definitely a dream. But I enjoyed making music. The fact that I knew how to write a melody and make it make sense, and sing a note and have the note resolve without being flat, sharp, wrong. You know what I'm saying? Build on top of that. Know how to modulate. Oh, if I write into a beat and the beat has a key change, I know how to change with the key. Like all of that stuff culminated from being in a group because you got to learn so much beyond it just being yourself. I to this day think some of the solo artists, and we can attest to that, come from groups. Michael Jackson came from a group, Beyonce came from a group, Justin Timberlake came from a group. A lot of people, even Missy Elliott, came from a group. It's like a lot of people learn how to do all this tremendous stuff by being in a collective with other people. And I think that's always been a strength of mine. I never wanted to be a solo artist. I enjoy groups. So I'm still in the group. Look at us here at VVL.
Fact. That is a fact. And just to let y'all know, we are working on some things, but we're not gonna talk about it right now. Okay, so when did you realize that music was more than just fun, but it was your purpose?
Um, I believed it early, but I think when it was cemented, it was when I got into middle school and high school and I started to book things. And people came to me for it. It wasn't like I was like, oh, they're auditioning for this. It was kind of like, hey, young Pappin, so and so is doing this, and we put your name in for do this, and all of a sudden I got an audition in 2 days that I did not sign up for, and I was like, and I had a tremendous amount of insecurities, darling. Okay, from being black to being fat to being poor to being all types of things, but music was something that made me feel like, well, through all of that stuff, the child could sing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I could do that. So it always made me feel empowered. But I don't know, going because now, like, I mean, I'm going back and it's kind of like, oh shit, it's kind of hitting me a little bit, like just to think about the journey of wanting this so bad because I got the opportunity to create. And we live in a world people say, oh, what are those and who does that? Those are non-creative. Those are people waiting for the next thing to come out while we're creating amazing things. You know what I'm saying? And I just still I still want that for my life, but I still wish that I had that drive that I did when I was that young little whippersnapper. Okay, like I miss it because it's so hard. Like JV, one of our hosts here, and our brother says that motivation is definitely something that has to be like recharged. And because let me tell you something, I used to sit in the cold to wait for audition and go outside and do that. I don't do half of those things now, and I have a trillion times more experience than I did at that time. So I'm trying to remind myself to get up out here. I don't know if I answered the question honestly.
You did. And again, sometimes we fall in deeper to what was asked, and then we bring out other things that we didn't expect. So again, a lot of these things are shared experiences. So even as you're talking, like my wheels are turning, like yeah, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely can most of us in this room, regardless if it's music, just in life and experiences, we understand. Y'all continue to tap it up, share it out, do all of the things. Thank you so very much. Also, there will be a portion where you can put questions in the chat, and we're gonna let Pappin
Oh
answer
yeah, I'm
them.
sorry, I'm
Okay.
not reading the chat at the moment. Y'all know I can't multitask, okay? And this
Oh boy,
is not the
but
shit.
that's all right.
But okay, go.
Perfectly fine. So, what was the hardest part about being in a group? Was it ego, pressure, expectations, or disappointment, or all of the
I'm
things?
gonna say all of the above. Being in a group used to feel like one of the greatest things. Like it's like being a part of the club. It's like Brandy said it. I want to be down. So you want to be down. You want to chill. You want to feel a part of that grand thing. And then it's easy when things don't work out for the people to turn and look and see who they find as the weakest link, or the person who is not as emotionally mature or far along to be like, oh, it's your fault, or it's because they know that person's going to take the brunt and feel it and feel things about that. And I felt like that in my musical endeavors. Like one time, uh, we were in certain places, and it was like Pappin's too big. He's too like and people would say, "What about jazz from Drew Hill or
Mm-hmm.
groups like that?" And around the time when Ruben Studdard had won American
American Idol.
Idol. You know what I'm saying? And which I hated having to be compared to people just because they were big. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was saying, "Oh, Pappin, he's just too big. He's just too that. He's just too that," and that's the reason why we're not prospering here. Only for a producer to write to us later and say, "Hey, we want Pappin's vocals, and we don't have them sing backgrounds and whatever." And it's fine that he's big. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hearing different things. Um, to go on further in that because I'm thinking a little deeper now. Um, those same people who said that my size was hindering the journey or that part of their talent and that they can do it without it has never produced anything in that realm since then. So it's kind of like it hurt me a lot for people to use me as this catalyst, or martyr, or whatever you want to use to say that we didn't succeed because of this. And I feel like I succeeded because I went through the experience. I have the experience. And today I can tell people who sing right. I don't care if you have 1 million followers more than me, honey. I got experience. Okay,
And run that
shockers no
receipts.
more. She's still there. Okay, as long as I stay sane.
So, was there a moment when you thought, this is it, we're about to make it? And then what happened after that?
Woo, yes, ma'am. When I lived in New York, I used to be a part of a group named Classic. It was probably 411 was a group I created.
My heart classic, yes.
I used to be a part of a group named 411, which I created when I was a kid with my sister Tia. Also with my brother Tion Sebastian Williams, God rest his soul, and that was my baby. But when I moved to New York, I had joined the group named Classic, and it became a definitive moment just in my music career period because we went out and we played the circuit. We played the New York circuit. We performed. We wrote for people, and then we ended up getting scooped up by management. Once by
Name drop.
once by Kim Field's production company, which we had exclusive management through, and through her company, we was able to work with people through Def Jam, Interscope, just a lot of different record labels, and also BMI and ASCAP, trying to write songs for other artists who are on the New York scene, and people were getting signed, and being able to sing and sit in spaces with a lot of different famous people. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was a time when Brian Cox sent us a thing telling us that we were going to do some project, and it was a lot of stuff that made me feel like I have made it. That I would be like, it'd be like, do do do. The account that you are trying to pull from is negative. Please stop calling. And it was just like, it felt good to be in the spaces and get the knowledge of it. But I thought we had did things up. Everything was lit, and I realized that greed, pride, a lot of those things ended up destroying a really good dream, because I really just wanted to be a part of an iconic group. I wanted to be like Destiny's Child. I wanted to be like TLC. I wanted to be like In Vogue. I wanted to be like a lot of my heroes, and at least I got the experience.
I love that because at the end of the day, if we glean from those moments, then we have the experience to still be able to be better and then to help people along the way. So even the way that we encourage people on VersaVision Live, the way that we pour into people, the way that we're on their neck, I know I be on a neck hard. It's because of these past experiences. And this is why we're having this conversation tonight on the Legacy Lounge. So y'all can understand where it comes from. Don't just think Pappin is having a good time and a tap it up. Okay. He is running a receipt. And this is why I'm digging into it, because he definitely don't put enough respect on the things that he's done. So I'd be the first one to be like, that's it. No, add some more to that. Don't forget you did. Let them know. Okay, so understand it. Now, this is the last question in this section, and then I'm gonna ask y'all to tap it up to the next 5 to get us to 20, because I'm telling y'all, we're winding down, but we still got some more of this interview to go, because I want y'all to understand where the drive comes from. So, last question in this section: when did your passion for music start to fade, and why?
Uh-oh. Well, my passion, the funny thing is to even say that my passion for the arts and entertainment world is fading is big, because it is. I still have such a love for arts. I love when I love something, like some great music comes out, some great sound, some great dance number, some great movie, visual, fashion moment. I live, but I just don't seek it or follow it like I used to. And it actually started without me even having to tell my age or whatever, but it started um in the last year of my life in New York, and which was the end of my 20s. And I had been in the group. The group failed. I won't say the group failed as in we were a failure because we couldn't get out there. We failed because we didn't stick together. And so the group failed. I started to try to write with local artists and nurture and use my talent, which begot something amazing as well. I ended up working with the independent artists and creating a whole helping, because if she heard this, she'd be like, "Ugh, I created my own thing." You did, boo. And I helped you color it in. So
Nisha said you ain't but 54.
just a few years younger than you, boo. But yes. Anyways, because I want to lose my train of thought. You know how quick that is. Where were we?
You talking about in your 20s in New York.
Yes, at the end of my 20s in New York, I got married. And I married a man. Yes, I'm gay. How y'all doing? But anyways, I was married, and when I married this man, it was another pivotal part of my life. Like dun dun dun, dun. Now I'm married. Like okay, I did music, I did everything, and by my end of my 20s, I'm thinking I did everything already in music, and I also felt like wow, another accolade in my life because a lot of my songs were written by about love and the hopeful love and searching for it and being hurt by it and love. And all of a sudden, I was married and I got to write a lot inspired by that situation. But when the marriage became more important than my life period, I started to forget music as well. So at times where music would be therapy for me to listen to stuff or even write or stuff, I wasn't worried about that. I was too busy chasing his ass, or running after him, or having a drink to drown it, or smoking, or just not indulging and not allowing it to be that nurse that I used to let it be for me. And it faded hard because even to today, I love things when I'm inspired, but I'm not an everyday person. Like I host a whole talent show, but I don't listen to music every day. I sing something every day because the world is music to me. I hear something, I hear baby crying, and if I have the note, I will harmonize with the baby crying. Okay,
That's a fact. That is a fact.
like if I hear sounds, I will like sing a note around it, or blah blah blah. But I do miss um indulging in creating something on a regular basis, only because I just feel like everything is just the music industry is saturated as hell. Everybody's making music more for status and popularity versus passion and drive, and it's just hard sometimes because everybody ain't out here trying to compete. People out here just want to like it's like we used to go to Woodstock. Nobody cared who sang better. It was about getting vibes and getting high. So you know what I'm saying? So
Free love, gotta love it. I see you, Mama JV in the building. Y'all listen, he gave you all of that. And guess what? I'm gonna need y'all to give me what I need. I almost thought that the taps wasn't working because it wasn't moving. So y'all, we're at 15:09 on my end. I'm gonna need 18. We're gonna need 18 to get to the next part. So I'm being kind. Let me get 18 to get to the next part. That gives y'all time to share it out as well. Again, if you're lurking on the outside, come on in. Take your shoes off. Warm up, baby. It's cozy in here. It's fun. Okay. And we're getting into it, as I like to say, only on the Legacy Lounge. Business, music, doing it for the culture. And again, I got my eyeball on a few of y'all that I would love to interview, but please don't ask me. That is the only catch. If it feels right, I will reach out, okay? Because it has to make sense. A lot of people, they want to be interviewed. However, with that being said, I got to have something to work with. So if you are serious about your craft, whatever it is, your business, yes, I will do that. I will reach out. But if this is just a hobby, I just can't. Because what is that going to do for you? If you're not even going to utilize it. So y'all tap it up. Let's get to 18. We're at 16.2. If we collectively just start tapping that screen, then we'll get there quicker. And the next part, literally, we're still going to get into the loss of passion and the identity shift. Y'all, this is not a normal interview that's going to be consistently across the board lighthearted. We're going to get into the feels. We're going to get into the things that make you tick. We're going to ask the hard questions, okay? It might be controversial to some. I don't know. Depends on the person and what exactly is going on. So that's another thing. The reason why I want to interview different people, different backgrounds, because I'm going to get into it. It's not going to be the fluff of what's your favorite color or whatever it is. No, we're going to dive deep into it. And I can't with Pappin. And because me and Pappin already know each other, I'm not going to lie. This interview was rather on the easier side to do because I knew what to pull from. So y'all, you know what you can pull from? That TikTok shop. Make sure you go to the TikTok shop and get that merch. Y'all, we have about probably 14 candles varieties in stock right now, and I'm going to tell you about a few because we still got one more K to get to for me to go to the next part. Y'all, I'm just saying, if we keep the taps consistent, I won't break down the interview. But Pappin has his own candle here on Verse and Vision Live, and it's called Signature Air. As I say, catch flights, not feelings. It is a luxury wrapped up in a candle, and there it is. Now he's burned most of it, so he can't really
burned
show
up,
you.
okay?
He done burned it up, but it's fine. I'm gonna have to send you a warmer too so we can get around them edges. But yes, his candle is aromatherapy, lemon balm, botanicals, a little Florida water for a little razzle and the dazzle. His candle is the most complex here. I have to keep reminding y'all because there's a lot of fragrant notes in there. Nisha said she is fixing salad. And she tapping. Look, get your son to do it for you. Huh? Put him on the payroll. Yes. But y'all continue to tap that screen up. If we all do it collectively, it don't be on one person. Mama JV said, hello, Pappin. But you wasn't on the screen, so I know you didn't see it.
Hello, Mama.
And also, I have a candle called Falsetto and Fluff. It is marshmallow baby powder. And it smells so very good, y'all. A little hint of caramel in there. I know it sounds wacky, but I'm wacky, so it makes sense. And go ahead into that TikTok shop and get it. And again, keep in mind that all of the 8-ounce candles come as a bundle, meaning you're going to get a wax warmer with your purchase and a little free gift. But I'm not telling you what the gift is because it's free from me to you. So don't worry about it, sweetheart, but it's going to give you what you need, y'all. We're only a few tippity taps away from going into our next section. And ultimately, here we are. Thank y'all so very much. All right, so Pat, we're still talking about passion, the loss of the identity shift, and we're going to get into it. So
I'm going to alter this pen. This pen is that's my grandfather, okay, Emmanuel Ellison. And my grandfather passed in actually the day before Valentine's Day in 2024. And, you know, it's still kind of crazy that child. Hold up, Grandpa, you trying me?
He letting you know he there.
He wants to have a great active relationship. But the point is, I wear this pen just in honor of him because it's still not real to me, you know. So he's in because he's the reason why. One of the reasons why I'm even here having this conversation. So go ahead.
So even though you tap the surface and get in that first layer, still you got to dig a little deeper. So we know a little bit, but what made you step back from music, even though it was such a huge part of your identity?
I mean, again, once I told you, my marriage had a big part to play with just me not caring anymore about trying to put anything out there. The biggest hit to me was the ending of Classic. You know, Classic was the last big project that I was a part of as a performer. I've been blessed to have been able to be behind the scenes in most music projects I work on, which most people, contrary to belief, again, I know that everyone's a singer-songwriter now, but a lot of your favorite artists just don't write. They don't produce. They don't, they don't do anything. They show up and they're swag. They have good voices and they swag out and people create their art. And I've always been able to person that's been able to perform and be a creator and curator. And once Classic ended, especially because it kept being about my weight. It wasn't about my talent. It was about my weight. And then I started to focus on my weight, which, funny, I ended up losing a bunch of weight and becoming kind of sexy, right? And I enjoyed that time, okay, too, because when I had my little era of being smaller and more in shape, had my muscles going on, people literally asking me out when I'm out in public, or complimenting me about my people always complimented my fashions, but they would compliment me about my actual physical. And child, I wasn't worried about no music. I was worried about the physical.
I do remember that era of Pappin and McGee, and I think that for me, to have met you years ago and then to see your quote unquote thirst trap photos, I used to be living for them. I was like, baby, is that a shirt off? What is that, a chain? What is going on? Because that just was not the version of you. And I said, oh, he feeling himself and I'm not mad at that. So yes, I remember that. I can clearly see the visuals in my head. So, but you know what? I feel like when you really look good in whatever that looks like to you, you feel good. And unfortunately, sometimes we just can't pull that out of ourselves without it looking a certain way. So I get it. I understand. So do you think you ever grieved the version of yourself that dreamed big musically?
All the time though, because when I see other people literally doing this for the love, when you see someone win American Idol, or someone who is struggling through a competition, or someone even on TikTok, when you see these people win money for their talent and they're crying and that reminds me of like, it's all about passion and wanting to do this. And it's hard to continue to want to do this if you've let yourself be beat down. Everybody's not prepared for the industry. So that's one thing I will say. Even though I've been in the industry, I've never truly been prepared for it. I'm extremely emotional. Okay, I either would have been in jail, or like I said, it's a lot of times. Like, yeah, y'all think Kanye was crazy at the award shows. Y'all didn't get Pappin at the award show, walking right up on stage like, "Girl, move out the way." Anywho, and then getting tackled by security. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'll be doing that right now with our current version. But listen, I ain't gonna do too much. Okay, so, but the point is, it's been a struggle because I don't want, and you know this about me, being someone who knows me personally. I don't do anything without intention. So I don't want to produce music or create art unintentionally, and not the intention of, oh, I'm doing this with the intention of going viral. You know what I'm saying? I don't think like that. My intention is, oh, we writing a song about Lerv, and it's about Lerv being love, y'all. Okay, I'm down. Okay, we gonna do it to the love beat, and we gonna do it to the love, everything be the theme. I'm down for that. Oh, we're hosting a talent exhibition where people get to come, and we're not judging them. It's not like, oh, okay, sorry, girl, you just don't got it. I'm dropping you. We're not doing that. We up here encouraging people and pushing them. I'm signing up for that. You know what I'm saying? So that is.
And it's funny that you say that because just a moment of transparency, y'all. That's what me and Pat differ the most with. I'm always looking for a moment, and I'm always like, get it done. I don't whatever, by any means. He's Mr. Intention, and I miss get it done. Dang it, that's just, and not to say he don't get it done, but it's just the urgency that I'm just like, I'll jump on the AI train very quick. Again, we have a show coming up, Pat versus Cap. So when I say there is a difference there, that sometimes in the moment, two passionate people talking about the same thing but differently. So whereas Pappin is in that, look, we both come from the same era of the artist development and doing the thing versus seeing now that people don't go through that at all. They have a viral moment, and next thing you know, Dr. Pepper Baby is good and nice. And that's not shade. What it is things that we have done years ago, and we make up ditties all the time. Hello, there it is. And it's amazing that hits. So whereas Pappin's like, I'm going to be intentional and da-da-da. And I'm like, no, Dr. Pepper, baby, Pepsi tastes good, drink some water. Like, I'm just trying to recreate whatever that thing was and do it again. So, and that has been a test because it's like, I know where you tick, you know where I tick. So y'all, like I said, that's a moment of transparency. So I can't wait till y'all do my interviews because I'm afraid to say Pappin's going to say to me, huh?
I think it's a superpower for us together to have those different perspectives because, again, it's not like you don't care and it's not like I'm not pushing. It's just that your motivation is just kind of be out there. And my motivation is, oh, we enjoy him because of this. So I want to be that. Like you say, oh, you're a mental health advocate. You're this, you're that. You shouldn't have to say that because my music, my art, my intentions, everything should say that. That's what all my content should be about those things that I uplift them about, not just something silly because it's viral. And then listen, nothing wrong with that. I enjoy that. I just don't want to have to be subject to that because I'm a natural creative. So like Cap will say, I'm writing the lyrics, but let AI do it. And I'm a melody guy. I'm a person who comes up with melodies. I like to think of boom, 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 oh, that, and I don't need AI to do it for me. Make it easier. I enjoy the process because what that does is it dumb my brain down. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me personally. I need to create. I need to cut. I need to get fabric and cut it up after I buy it and say that's how I want it to look, not conform to what. Oh, this is what the people look like nowadays. No, I'm a part of what people look like nowadays because of my individuality. And it's hard to hold on to individuality and have straight creativity because now you can have a hit song and people don't care about the song, they care about the virality of the song. I always talk about the song Folded, right? Which I think is a great song, but I hate that a song gets so much praise because of virality. To see if other people can hit the note, if people can do this thing, and you lose the whole thing. Like Folded is a cute song, but child, I done heard 50 of those songs in 1995. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm a musician. The house down. Okay,
And that is a fact. And that is a fact. Y'all continue to tap it and share it out so we get more people understanding Pappin, the man, the myth, and the legend. But he's not a myth because, baby, we're unearthing it right now. Well, our next question, you've kind of already, answered it, but I'm still going to ask it just in case there might be something else you want to talk about. How did it feel watching others succeed while your own journey seemed paused?
how did it feel? It's still currently here. Yeah.
Come
Um,
on.
what it is definitely bitterness. And I'm going to just say that to be candid and transparent from the jump. There is utter bitterness, but it's not it's not the dominant feeling. It's I actually congratulate those that I've always saw that stuff going for. It's some people that I'm kind of like, It's funny to see them in spaces that when we were together, things that they told me were not fit for the industry or we wouldn't make it to do that. They're doing those things verbatim today. Talking points to looks. And I've always been a look queen. I've always been a talking point. I'm the person where people say, Pappin, shut up. And then I'm also so beastie. So when somebody says shut up, I'm the person saying, who are you talking to? So, I'm all that. And I'm seeing people do that type of stuff now. And it's kind of hard because I let depression, and I'll go ahead and say it because I say drugs. When I say drugs, listen, your boy ain't out here in the Whitney Houston, but I have. And I've been in other places and I've been in all other places. And when people say drugs, they just really think of hard drugs. Drugs being that you think getting up, rolling up 4 or 5 times a day, buying a bottle and drinking it throughout the day, eating all types of crazy food, watching maybe some Pizzorn, um, watching the news all day, consuming politics, yelling at the TV, being mad. Those are all drugs. You know what I'm saying? That consume you away from purpose. Where I talked to my constituents last night in the meeting and said, at VVL, we need a song. And what it should have been was, hey, I think we need a song at VVL, and this is how it goes. Because I need to curate that and believe in something to create. It's just so hard nowadays because I think a lot of people create for instant gratification, glorification, and I just want to create to continue. That's my legacy. No shade. I'm not out here making a bunch of kids. I ain't making none. But I would love to make a lot of memories and create a lot of legacy work.
Correct.
Why you laughing? What you laughing at? Am I funny to you?
Yes, you're hilarious.
Thank you.
You're full of shenanigans. Last question in this topic. And this can just be simple yes or no. And I feel a sneeze coming.
No.
Hold, please. Hold on, y'all. Okay. The craziest thing happens when I sneeze, my eye gets very small. It's like, Oh, lazy eye situation.
I'm trying to read
Okay.
the comments, but hello everyone who said hello to me. I'm blind, plus I'm ugly, so you know.
I can't. I'm reading the comments. You're good.
What's up?
Do you feel like life forced you to grow up faster than you wanted?
No, yes and no. And is my mom still watching this?
Yup, and liking and tapping that screen up. So be mindful
No,
before she pull that
I
switch
want to be
out
this
on you.
real. I realize now that my mom did shield us a little bit from, as much as we thought we were knowledge and we were out there, she did shield us from a lot of the hardships of just regular society. She tried to make sure we just were good. And going out into regular everyday society and dealing with, like, even my mom moved us into an area that had a little bit more white people, but, and you know, if you know Aqua M personally, you know she don't. If you think I'm a mess, I'm a product of that. So yeah,
Mm-mm.
that product don't expire. Okay, so I think that because I don't want to lose my train of thought. Bring me back. I'm sorry because I lost the train of thought.
Life making you grow up faster
Oh yeah,
than you
so I
wanted
feel like she
to.
shielded us from certain things, and then we ended up having to see. And I say we because I've talked to my siblings, and I think that we learned a little bit more about, like, we were shielded. We were the type of kids who can come back and call mommy mommy and have her do things for us and make us feel like, okay, even though she may not be the one, my baby, come here, my baby. Her actions scream that all the time. So I think it was harder to grow to I let myself be enthralled in that a little bit too much, where I was afraid to grow up and take responsibility for a lot of things that I was creating around me. And that was the relationships, the habits, you know what I'm saying? All of the things that I contribute to being bad. Because people say, "Oh, your mom, my mama didn't raise me like that. My mom didn't raise me like that. My mom didn't raise, like, like drinking, smoking, all that stuff." That's not stuff she raised me on. Like, my mother wasn't a person that sat around me and was smoking and shit. My mother was the type of person that everybody had to leave the house because I couldn't be around smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And that was not just her house, other people's houses. Like, we been we been other people's
I know
houses.
your mama don't play. I knew that from the very
Coming
first
over,
time I
y'all
met
can't
them.
smoke. You know what I'm saying? And late years later, I just learned, like, wow, paramount and powerful to my life. Yeah, I hope that answered your question.
It did. So y'all, that ends that section. I'm gonna need to give me the 25K before we come to the next part. Y'all, listen, this Legacy Lounge episode is our debut, our pilot, but not our only one. Again, each and every host, including myself, of VersaVision Live will be interviewed on the Legacy Lounge, where business, music, and culture and legacy, they meet, they mesh, and they do all of the things. And again, y'all, I'm in my bag right now because this is natural to me. So just talking, and I want y'all to understand, the level of interview that this is. This is more than probably what y'all thought it was going to be, and I love that for you. Okay, and it's not of a place out of ego. It's just the fact of I watch a lot of interviews, whether that's on TV, podcasts, TikTok, and all of the things, and I am easily bored and not impressed. So I wanted to make sure that I gave you all depth in the interview and asked those questions that possibly you didn't think were going to be asked, so that you can look and now better understand the person, because this is what this is. Shout out there to JV in the chat. You are the second out of four, because I'm still a third. So yes, 2 out of 4 hosts here on the TikTok. Also, shout out there to Case Fast out there, boot up over this here week, and we love that for
Spizzle.
him. I hope he sees that. It's all love. But yeah, y'all continue to tap it up. We only need 400 more taps, and then we can get to the next pod.
Tap it
So
up.
y'all, that's just how we're going to operate in these interviews, because the more that you push us out into the algorithm, the more people can pop in and say, we didn't even know y'all did this. We thought this was a talent show. Can I request up? I had to turn the request off because I already knew somebody would try to get up here and give us something. But we not doing this right now. Also, me and Pap do have a new show coming up called Pap versus Cap. Make sure. Make sure. Pap versus Cap. And again, it is a debate, y'all. And it might get spicy. And it might be sassy. But because we tend to disagree a lot, I always say that's content. Because again, if you don't know that, you better know me. I'm always looking for a moment. Thank y'all so very much. At the 25, this part, we're going to get into, and we're going to talk about mental health and inner battles, y'all. So here we are. So a question here. We know that you're a strong mental health advocate, and we know that you have many personal experiences that may have led you to being who you are today concerning that issue. But what is something people often misunderstand about depression, anxiety, or emotional burnout?
I saw this question earlier, and I was going to think about it, and the first thing that came to my head is the first thing that came to my head just now. It's normal. It's not out of the norm. It's out of the norm for that person to be acting this way. Oh my God, that's just not normal. No, it's normal. And it's normal because we all have a spectrum. You know how people say, oh, this person is on an autistic spectrum or we're all on some type of spectrum, especially mentally, as we grow. Because again, a lot of things affect our mental. A lot of people smoke a bunch of weed. Okay. Listen, I smoke. And does it affect my mental? Yes. Okay. People drink. People eat bad things. People consume smog, things that alter their brain. And also, some people are just being taught terrible things. And some people are just being indoctrinated and have all types of mental issues in their mind. So anxiety, depression, all of these things are natural occurrences of people. The difference is everyone doesn't know how to stabilize, to measure. So just like you go and make sure that your abs are together, and you lift those weights and you eat certain oils and proteins, it's the same thing with your mental health, because if you don't attend to it, for one, it will be unstable. And then once you go through traumas, the instability becomes paramount. It becomes huge, where that's why a person with crazy anxiety can't, just calm down. Bitch, if I could just calm down, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You understand? But you won't be able to understand it because you're not in a constant state of anxiety, which is real. Okay, listen, I know a person, I wake up with panic attacks at least 3 times a week, and I wake up literally swinging, fighting. Like if I had a boo right now, to listen, domestic violence McGee, and I not listen. Okay, sorry. I listen to Chris Brown. I'm not trying to be like him.
Oh, shots fired. Now, why would you bring my man into this? He didn't mean it, baby. He didn't mean it.
That was for Cap. But no, in all seriousness, again, all those issues are normal. They don't have to be every day, though. Just because something is normal doesn't mean it has to be your everyday life, and it has to be something that you accept. It's such a stigma around saying something is wrong. You're feeling sorry for yourself. Pick yourself up. I worked hard. I worked 50 years and didn't complain. And you put yourself through that much trauma. And in between, you probably put hundreds, if not thousands of people through the same trauma because you were never willing to take care of yourself mentally. All you cared about was making sure you paid these things and stuff that other people created for you. Don't get me preaching, though.
And this question rounds out our first hour. Y'all, we've only been here for an hour. So let me just say, it doesn't feel like it, but this is our, again, I wasn't giving you no quick run of the mill.
My agent said I was only supposed to be here for 10 minutes. Okay, I don't know how.
I'm sorry. I gotta talk to your people to talk to my people. Listen, it's all right. CBS was NBC and all of the. Listen, how do you personally check yourself when that starts to get heavy for you?
I absolutely check myself, meaning look in the mirror, put my phone camera on my own face, because sometimes, through trauma, it's all you can remember is the hurt parts. And sometimes, so the truth about feeling sorry for yourself is real, right?
Mm-hmm.
The bad thing is that it's not always intentional. You don't mean to do it. It can be triggered. And then you fall and fall and fall to it. And the whole thing is trying not to fall into those things. So sometimes I have to take accountability and get up in the mirror and say, stop feeling sorry for yourself. When you think, I'll think about something bad, like I just said about when I talked about my mom earlier, I could have been in an argument with her and say this and say that. But when I think back, I can't think of anyone else who tried harder. You know what I'm saying? So living in trauma will allow me to think of something negative. But when I think in retrospect, I get to child, all the stuff that was done for me, honey. So, it's about constant accountability, and taking accountability. Is nothing wrong with it. So many people fight it. The people who are in the highest offices in the land won't take accountability today. People who are 80 years old will sit there and gaslight you right now to play with you because they won't take accountability. That's mental instability, and taking accountability, looking yourself in the mirror and saying, these things happen to me and I hate that they happen to me. But remembering to stop telling yourself you hate yourself because they happen to you, and getting past that and trying to get to a place where it's saying, I hate that these things happen to me and I am going to be okay.
Sidebar. Thank you so very much, 49 Trio, for coming in. Now, this is a space that right now, today, in this moment, is the Legacy Lounge, which is an interview series where we are interviewing Pappin of the Gig here on Saturdays and Sundays, which is a talent-based exhibition showcase style show, not a talent show. Not to be mixed up and construed. But we're not taking requests for songs or any of those things right now in this moment, because in this moment we are highlighting Pappin. Okay. But thank you. Thank you for asking. But we do have other shows here. If you just check our main page, you'll see that we have 4 hosts totally on Verse and Vision Live, where we all do a little bit of something. And y'all, this is my show for the day, so do not expect me to come back later. Okay? Because this is it. And after this, again, this will be uploaded to the YT. So y'all, that ends out that portion. But I'm gonna need 30 in order to get to the last portion. Hey, we're at 27.3, and I'm just saying, used to be back across the street, we'd have been at 99 to 100K by now. I don't know. So y'all, if we all collectively just get the tapping, then that'll get us where we need to be a little quicker. And thank you so very much for your time, your dedication, for those rocking with us and those who are outside. Come on inside, baby. I'm telling you, it's warmer in here. Thank you, Shakia, for being in here holding us down. She got to go back and do her mommy thing right now. But again, y'all, she is in that 3-hour time difference. But she said, listen, I'm going to carve out this time for y'all to come in and do the support tough thing. And I thank you so very much for that. Also, Lo the Goddess, for coming in 1 hour behind us. Thank you for coming in, sharing that out. Most importantly, of course, Nisha, who is in the building, tapping, clapping, doing all the things, who is actually in Eastern Standard Time. So y'all, again, we only have a few more questions to go. And then there's a portion after that. That's a little bit of this and that. Once again, the interview series that we do at Legacy Lounge are not ran through. It's not like speed dating over here. We're going to get into the depths of it. And I do realize that doing a show like this, a lot of people are with that popcorn generation. Let us get it quick, fast. We only want 15-minute interviews. That's not this. Okay. We're actually in this space for people who have a longer bandwidth. Okay. And they actually want to know what's going on so they can see, where a person comes from when they say stuff. I'm always asking why these things happen to me. Honey, when I say there was a multitude of things that happened, sometimes you have to look at it from the why not me. because unfortunately our lives can be a mirror to help somebody else not make the same mistakes that we went through, and we do sometimes have to be that person to help that the next person going through it, and we don't want to be that lesson. But you have to look at it from the perspective of there has to be a silver lining to this, and whatever that struggle is that you go through, don't let it break you. Yeah, you might bend, but pop back into place. Be stronger. Don't let it break you, because then what do you do with that? What do you do with the broken pieces?
And it's hard.
So,
it's hard when you hear words, because certain words motivate, certain words denote. And I think that it's really belief. If you have a strong belief in something, so a lot of people have a strong belief in faith and religion, some people don't. But I would say a starting point is, if you believe very hard in religion, if you believe that there is a Father God who blesses you for being loyal to Him and following His commandments and doing everything, believe that and stuff within yourself as well, because that faith is the driving point. If we don't have faith in things, we won't do it. Child, we don't care about things. We have faith that they'll kick us out of our apartments if we don't pay our rent. So that's why we make sure the rent is paid. We don't want to do it. We try to figure out all types of ways not to do it. And when we don't do it, we try to find a whole bunch of ways to finagle around it so we don't get kicked out. So it's the same thing in the stability and trying to keep things together. We find a lot of things important that other people made important for us. Okay, honey, because in reality, we could be building land and stuff and discovering land and shit on our own, but we ain't gonna go there. Okay, we'll do that on another VVL show.
On another day. Y'all, even as he's talking, you hear me over here tapping? Yeah, I'm not asking anybody to do something I ain't doing, okay? So we tap it up. Y'all, listen, again, thank y'all so very much. We only got a little bit more to go, but again, you'll be able to look at that replay on the YT. And how you get to that, go to our main page and hit up our link tree, and you will see all the links to every other thing besides TikTok that we're not going to say here because TikTok be true. Right. So also make sure that you check out our TikTok shop, because we do have merch. Now, I talked about Signature Air and I talked about Falsetto and Fluff, but let's talk about Noir Frequency. That is JV, another host here of Just Vibing on Saturdays, 9:30 p.m. And his candle is Leather, Musk, and Oud. So if you love a masculine smelling candle, that is the one that you want. Also, it has a little tiger's eye on top, so you want to make sure you get into that. And also, Kate Spaz rounding out the host here at VersaVision Live. His candle, the newest candle here, is called Pen and Prelude. Y'all, listen, it's the names for me. Everything here has a musical connotation behind it. So Pen and Prelude.
You say prelude. I say prelude.
And I have a twang to my accent. And
no, I love it. I love it. It comes in all shapes, sizes, and linguistics.
Mm-hmm. And does. His candle is a dupe for Adventist by Creed, but I also put my own little razzle dazzle in there because it wasn't giving enough for me. But it's another masculine scented candle here, and his has a little feather on top that's multicolored, and it just melts into the wax. Again, keep in mind that all 8-ounce candles are coming with a wax warmer, but I am making a mental note and writing it down. If y'all are repeat customers buying 8-ounce candles, I am not mailing out a warmer every candle because y'all will have 17,000 of them. So you will get one, okay, possibly two, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because that just doesn't make sense. Let somebody else get something. But and then we also have 2 mod candles. We have Nisha's Berry Melodic Mood, which is fruit cocktail, strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, all of the berries. If you love a very sweet smelling candle, you want that. And of course, we got Shakia's candle, Peach Perfect Harmony, which is peach, agave, and a Bellini. You love it. I love it.
My mom
need that.
She wants that.
What'd you say?
I'm gonna order his candle for mommy tonight. My mom wants that candle.
What, the Peach Perfect Harmony? Okay, and Mama Pappin, let me know. Did you receive your warmer? Because the mail has been tied up, but you should have received that on Monday. You did? Cool. So again, just put yours on there. Don't even worry about lighting it up because it's going to help move that fragrance around because you're heating it from the bottom. and it's gonna last longer. So that's what you want to do. Thank you so very much. That's what you want to do, y'all. I'm gonna tap up this last 200 just because I said 30K, and I know y'all listen
Tapping is
attentively,
what?
but we gonna
Tapping is what?
multitask over here.
Tapping is what? Because tapping is
Yay,
what?
yay, yay, yay. Now the next question, we're getting into purpose, legacy, and friendship. Again, some of the stuff you've already answered, so I'm not gonna ask all 7 of these because it don't make sense. Okay, but I'll let you ponder a moment while I'm tapping because I'm trying to multitask.
Okay.
So the question is, knowing me, yours truly, Cap Rivera, for so long, how does our friendship shape and challenge you? And I know I'm challenging. So we're going to let him ponder. Let me see where we're at. If we're at 30, then let me
I don't
look.
think it's too much, but
Yay, 30.4. Hooray. Now, let's get into it. Again, knowing me for as long as you have, how does our friendship shape or challenge you? Let's get it.
All right, well, let's get into it. For one, Cap and I have known each other for quite some time. I was still in high school when I met Cap. We met each other on a B2K. Actually, it was Sony message board, but B2K signed to Sony, and we met through a competition. Actually, not it's so funny because it's almost like it's not exactly what we do here, but it was the BBS Idol, BBS meaning the bulletin board, whatever, and we were in this competition where singers were trying to win something. So you would call a number, sing your song, which would be like a message. You send the message over to the person who was running the talent show, and they would advance you depending on how you were. And I advanced, and Cap was on there also advancing as well. We were in the top, what, 3 or 4, 5?
It was a whole lot of going on back there, honey. Your memory a little better about that time than mine, only because I just remember,
I won that one,
I was
right?
going back and forth with you at the end of the day. It
I
was
won
us.
that one,
I don't
right?
remember anybody else. I don't.
I won that, right?
You did.
So, feeling my fishness. I did win the competition, and Cap and I decided, like, she was someone who I was living for her vocals and voting for her. Like, I was actually scared of her because I was like, oh, well, damn. I was doing so good and I was advancing, and then she was eating her stuff up too. And I'm like, well, who is this rich? And then I ended up getting to win the competition, which child, it turned out to be a mess anyway. The guy called me like, can you sing Nice and Slow for me on the phone? I'm like, Nice and Slow? Like, Nice and Slow is a beautiful song, but that wasn't what I was trying to do. Like, I thought we was about to do some real stuff, and the opportunity didn't turn out to be anything beyond me realizing that remembering that I'm talented. I can win a little competition. So to answer Cap's question, it started there because after that, I was like, okay, well, thank you. Like, I'm good. I already have my friends in high school. We were doing our thing. Cap persisted on me where she wanted to get to know me. Like,
I
well,
said, let me get that number.
talk.
And two people met on the internet. He was in Connecticut at the time. I was in West Bubblefuck at the time. And let me tell you, I still got a $500 phone bill waiting. Bell's house, okay? Man, listen, we would be on the phone almost every night, hours at a time, 3, 4, 5 hours at a time.
And
At a
talking music,
time.
talking dreams, talking inspiration, talking life. And we were both inspired by the group Immature, and by way of
Yes.
because I became a B2Ker, but Immature is the catalyst behind them. And we were able to bond beyond that. And I started to learn all the things she did. When I met her, she was working at a radio station. To me, I was like, oh my God. But she taught me the ins of outs, what reality is. Like, again, even though she was working at a radio station, she wasn't Angie Martinez, And
Katrina, hello.
I watched her produce an album at that radio station. And she's like, listen, using the studio equipment to record her vocals and write her songs. We used to talk so much about dreams. She would send me exclusive tracks that she got from the radio, and we would write songs to them. We entered contests together. We did all types of things. And what she helped me do is to build my tribe, which she is still a part of, and I'm a part of hers. So as we were doing that from all those years ago, there was a tribe built. So even coming here to across the street into Verse and Vision Live, the reason why Cap and I are here together is because we've always done this together. Actually, we've done this together so much that we continue to try to figure out how to do things together because that's what we do. And it was always dreaming, yeah, you know what? We should produce this. We should do this. And this has been us forever. You know what I'm saying?
For a long, long time.
What she leaves me with, because when I don't believe in myself, Kat believes in me. When I started to fade on my art and my talent because I'll care more about my trauma in my life, Kat was the person like, I don't want to hear that. Sing something. Oh,
Yes. Tough love McGee. That is a fact.
make a cheesecake. Put on a show. When we went across the street, she's the person who wrote to the guy who works over there and owns it, and said, this is a person that you need. And he called me on some, Cap said I need you, so tell me why I need you. You know? If you see me here. But the point is, this relationship has been paramount because let me tell you something. Though it's very much filled with love, loyalty, and compassion, there has definitely been drama, trauma, and issues.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
Cement.
And that's just with anything. I feel like even in a marriage, because really what we're doing is that if you have a marriage with no fights and somebody's kissing somebody behind too much, because nothing is perfect. It's what you do outside of that. So regardless of, the perception, and I joke a lot about being villain 2026, but I mean it. Regardless of what it is, there's just a moment that's paramount that's going to trump anything else. It don't matter how long you know the person. Sometimes, a separation comes, and sometimes people bounce back from it, sometimes people don't. But that's life, because if in this marriage, being teenagers and you are one way, you don't know yourself, you're still learning, you're still doing, and then a version of us might have fizzled away, and then here we are now trying to know who we are. Or maybe we didn't quite catch up, and then you're looking back at it like, well, now I've evolved to this mindset, whatever, doing, growing out of that. Why haven't you? Or vice versa. And so disconnect, and that's with any relationship. So I can say where we are here at Verse and Vision Live is it doesn't make sense for both of us and anybody who is involved, host wise, to sit on the type of talent and know-how and receipt and don't use it. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So when I am on your neck, and whoever neck that I feel like needs to be on, I can't cast my pearls, okay, on the swine who don't listen. If you really want to do it, I'm gonna be on your head. Or if I know that you need that extra kick in the caboose, here I am. And no, the way that I do it don't always feel like love. But at the end of the day, if I didn't care, it's mum's the word. Do what you want. Don't care. Because that's just that part of me that I have evolved into. So the Cap that Pappin knows from eons ago was more, I think, people pleasing and doormat-ish, and whereas over time it's like this brick wall. It's
Well, you used the perfect word, time. It took so much time where you thought, my time is coming. My time is coming if I do this. My time is coming if I just let these people do this. Well, you realize, child, the time is now. Because time is waiting for nobody. Time continues to go on. Time is infinitely moving, and we're not the setters of it. We may set time to try to do things, but we don't set time because time keep going. And I think that was the biggest lesson you learned, and you're not wasting time anymore.
No, I can't, because there is a point that you hit in your life where you go from being invincible in your mindset to time. I don't have time, and that should be my new cat. I don't have time. I don't have time. Because in my mind there's so much of it that was wasted. Like my memory fluctuates just because of me just putting things in different file cabinets in my life that I can't tell you what 20s looked like. And it wasn't because I was partying out there doing whatever. It's just there's a certain things I erase out of mind. So no, I handle certain things. And now in my life, I'm like, wait a minute, I did that. So I have to remind myself of, certain things. Even in the building.
Even the ordinance. I didn't drink certain memories away, so sometimes I'm like, oh damn, I did that. But vodka was like, girl, you don't need to remember that.
That is a fact. But I always remind the broskies, I always say, you know what, I don't want to be the fuddy-duddy who's mad at the other folks. Let's learn from what they're doing and let's incorporate it so we can, keep continuously and building. Thank y'all for the 30.7, because that was going to be the next thing I was going to say. So y'all, as we're winding this out, because again, we got this section, we're going to keep it within this 8 minutes, because we got a little portion of this and that after that. And then, baby, that's the first official episode of the Legacy Lounge. And you getting into it. Okay, so I will say this, and this is
excuse me. Oh, excuse me.
Sleepy McGee over here. I'm keeping him up past his nap time, y'all. All right. Now beyond music, what is your true calling beyond that?
I don't know what to say for it myself, but you're included in this, and I think sometimes I've told you the story, and I don't know if you remember it. One time, Cap, myself, and another gentleman, Donovan Thompson, who was the host over at the Stranger Fruit. I don't know are they on Netflix now?
Really? I don't know. Really? I don't know. I gotta look.
Donovan, host of the Stranger Fruit, former member of Classic. I was in a group with him. We were all on the train one time. We used to all collaborate, work together, and we were on the train, and some guy who was on the train ministering to people, like, people get on the train in New York City. Some people crazy talking to you. Some people decide they gonna minister you and tell you your life. And this person came and stopped and talked to me, Cap, and Donovan, and told us all what we were going to be going forward. And he had told, I used to remember everybody so vividly, but I just remember him telling Cap, at that time, she had just moved. She's only in New York for a little bit of time. He's mentioned to her about being on the radio, something she had already done. So it was already like, okay, hold on. And he was like, your voice couldn't be heard doing this. And he told me that I would minister music. And I was like, I remember too. And to see your face? Because I remember when we was done, people, our collective, myself, Donovan, and Cap was, well, I wanted this and I wanted that, and me in the meantime was kind of like, Charlie, I don't know what he's talking about. How your voice will be used to help to create music, do this, do that, and it reminded me all those years ago. Which, child, those was some over a decade and plus time ago.
Easy on those plus. Thank you.
About my contributions to certain people's projects and music and going forward, and that man didn't tell no lie. So I kind of think that's my calling. And it's not just music. I think it's the beauty and the magic that is within music. Because again, I'm the person that will say live, love, laugh, and spread it when people want to just say fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to continue to say live, love, laugh.
Y'all, once again, this is the Legacy Lounge, where we are interviewing Pappin on tonight. We are in our first hour again, because great things take time, baby. It's like wine; it got to get good with time. So we've had a myriad of topics here, and we're winding it down. So we're getting to the nitty and the gritty, and I feel like I remember that, but there's just so much that I just don't remember, to be honest. But hey, hey, speak life into me, honey. Speak it. Let me look. Yeah, because the way my eyeballs are set up. So we talked about our friendship and your calling, and that jumped right into your legacy. Okay. So if you could sit across from your younger self right now, what would you say? And what would you apologize for?
What I would say was invest in Apple, Negro. Apple.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. all the, people want to do the self-reflection thing. So young Pappin, little Pappin. I think I've always, like I said, had once I realize arts entertainment and this was my gig, it's always been a certain trajectory. But I think I would tell myself the thing that I'm preaching today is to live, laugh, love, and spread it. And even though I did do those things, would tell myself to live by that, like really make that your mantra from when you was 8, 9, 10, and to believe in yourself. Like really, I know you believed it sometimes, Pap, and I know sometimes you was really into it, and then when it did hit your mind and your brain, and you told yourself, "Oh, you're too fat, you're too gay, you're too people don't like you, you're this, you're that, you're this." All of those times you beat yourself up more than you felt like people were beating you up outside. I would say, honey, protect yourself and believe in yourself and let them people believe what they want.
And the final question.
Wow, I just gave that's hit myself. Like, okay, I gotta watch this playback so I can cry to it.
Okay, so what's going on? I see you. So, in terms of your legacy, what do you want people to say about you years from right now?
That I was here. And that while I was here, I spreaded that mantra. I lived, I went through my life. I learned the different lessons that you need to go through in life, to grow up, to be a man, to be a human, to be moral, to be a citizen, to be all those things. But then also know that I loved myself first and foremost in order to show love and give love to those around me, cultivate and create love, build things on top of that, and then laugh, because girl, ain't nothing better than finding something funny and getting your good laugh on, honey, okay? Because let me tell you, I love to laugh. I live to laugh. I can laugh all motherfucking day. Okay, I hate it because your face start hurting, your jaw start hurting, and the back of your head start hurting, but I love a good laugh. And then I say to spread it, because why not spread that around? People spreading diseases, pain, hurt, trauma, anguish. I want to spread that that loving, and that living, and that laughing. I really, that's why I say that mantra. I really believe in that, and it's helped me go on, because again, my mental struggles when I sometimes be going off and spazzing on myself. I gotta come. Sometimes I put on an episode of The Gig.
I can't say that about Pappin. He's gonna look at all the shows.
I did a series for myself called Mental of Monday in 2022 when I was going through one of the hardest parts in my mental struggle. And that show, I will tell people all the time, that show helped me because I got to watch my own show back and get advice from myself. And it was like, Pappin, hate that. Meanwhile, I'm Pappin. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was the reminder. Some people call it crazy, but where they do that in Pappin world, Pappin land, that's what I had to do to feel the same confidence that maybe a Cardi B feels when she rap. No shade. I've been singing my whole life and writing songs for people, and I'll get insecure. Cardi B come right out there, don't have none of my experience. Like, I'm about to eat this. You know what I'm saying? And there's different levels to getting there.
That's the thing. That's the difference between the millennials and everybody that came after us. They don't care. They gonna put it out there, good, bad, or indifferent. And that's the thing that we need to glean. And I love that. The fact of being here. I was here. I existed. I left an impact. That's what I did.
What's up, Travis?
Pappington McGee of Hambonian. Okay. And nobody can say that but me. Thank you. And that literally is the interview portion. But now here's a little fun and games, and then we're gonna let y'all go about y'all day. Okay. So now let me ask you, if and again, we don't need even the story behind it, just the direct answer. Your top 3 vocalists that have inspired just your style, who you want to be, who you've dreamt of, like like young Pappin to now Pappin. 3 only, in no particular order. Just give me the names. 3 only.
Okay.
And we know Beyonce's one of them. What?
Because you know how I feel. That's why I'm saying we have to. Okay, we talk about legendary, iconic, my whole life encompassing. All right, T-Boz Tion Watkins is one of my biggest vocal inspirations of all time. I don't care what anybody, and if y'all don't know who that is, that's T-Boz from the group TLC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how many runs Jasmine Sullivan can do or how much Bibles pages Brandy is the vocal, teacher to.
Mm-hmm.
There's really not a lot of voices on earth that soon as you hear it, you know it's them. And T-Boz is one of those people. When I was growing up and listening to TLC, her voice always, like, people, Chili sounds so good. Why should it sing leads? Because imagine Chili singing the leads on Creep. Imagine Chili singing the leads on Digging on You. Even though she has leads on you, beautiful leads.
Mm-hmm.
But T-Boz give you that grit and that's artistry. That's vocals. Just because she can't vocalize in the sense of certain other people like Whitney Houston gonna give you belts. She gonna give you head voices. She gonna give you a whole range of runs, just like Jasmine Sullivan, just like Kim Burrell, just like all the people. I think we're starting to love people for the same things. And that's the reason why I love someone special as T-Boz. Is T-Boz, and I'm gonna just run it down so stop going so hard. For me, it's T-Boz, is Stokely from the group Mint Condition, because that motherfucking can sang. And it's Mrs. Babyface, who I call Leatherface now. Babyface.
I can't.
I
Let
love
me
you.
get
Giving me leather.
a producer that you think has the soundtrack of your life.
Babyface.
Babyface. All right, look, we on a twofer.
Teddy
We're on
Riley.
a twofer.
Teddy Riley.
Teddy Riley. Yeah, okay.
Okay, but then also we can go further because like you can't knock me, you can't peg me in the production realm because I can write to so many different songs and different feelings, and there's so many different producers that give me those feelings. So again, Babyface and Teddy Riley are paramount, but let's not forget like Soul Shock and Carlin. Let's not forget like Just Blaze with the soul samples before Kanye was even doing the soul samples. You know what I'm saying? Great producers. There's a producer right now named Hit Boy. And Hit Boy Hit Click and all types of big records for Kanye West. But before Hit Boy did those records, I wrote a song on a Hit Boy record called I'm Gonna Be Okay with a group named Classic. And
Classic.
and
My favorite classic song, not that you asked me, but it's a reason.
well, that's a 411 song.
Oh, sorry. See, I've been around for so long I got it confused, but it don't matter because you was in both groups.
Okay, but production wise, it definitely is going to be Teddy Riley and Babyface. They had like Babyface is responsible for that TLC sound that I love so much. Him, Dallas Austin, and other players, Jermaine Dupri, a lot of other players, but Babyface cultivated a sound track for my life. He taught me that you can write songs for other people.
Mm-hmm. And we have both of us have done that. Y'all listen, we don't just do the little skididdle dibbles in here. Like we've done this. Okay. So yeah. The fact that the reason how Pappin can tell y'all so much about your tone and all the other things is because he comes from a time, and I know that sounds like ancient, but listen, he comes from a time where we literally had the CDs, the cassettes, we read the production, and then we knew, oh, this is their sound, this is their sound. So we knew. Nowadays, you don't know because everything sounds the same, but people had distinct sounds. And so he cultivated his style this way, that way. He moved the groove this way. So I love a good liner note. So that's just what makes this different. Now, we have conducted all of that, but now here's the fun part, y'all. And a little this and that. Now, this is just either or. Either or. Just we don't even have to explain nothing behind it. Just either or. Would you rather be wealthy in money or wealthy in peace?
Definitely wealthy in peace because I can find a way to make some more money. But again, the peace is so hard to find peace. Even when you have money, how you gonna find peace if everybody reporting on it or everybody's looking for you to get some of it? I can find that peace and then find a way to get me some coin, honey.
I would like a piece of that money. Okay. Would you rather be deeply understood by a few people or admired by millions?
Well, I'm already deeply misunderstood by a different amount of people, and contrary to belief, by the way I act, like I said, an introvert portraying an extrovert, I definitely would. A million people would just give me anxiety.
Mm, I'll take that million for 500, Bob. Would you rather heal your past or be able to change someone else's future?
Ooh, wow. Well, I care about all of y'all, the house down. And I think healing my past will help me heal other people's futures. I ate that.
This or that, sir. This or that. Stop being Switzerland. This or that.
Stop being intelligent.
Hmm.
That's what I heard.
I can't. Would you rather lose your fears or lose your regrets?
I would definitely rather lose my regrets because why regret some of this shit when I can go through it and my fears are what drive me.
Would you rather live a long, quiet life or a short, impactful one?
Hmm. Because it's a would you rather. In real life, I'm already impactful. And I haven't been here that long, even though I've been here a long time. Of course, I want to live, but I definitely would like to. I would love legacy versus just being a silent human.
All right. I got a little bonus because you know me. I gotta put a little bit more razzle dazzle on it.
Razzle dazzle.
Would you rather relive your best memory or erase your worst one?
Mm. Do 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 do. Do. Do, 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 I had to finish the notes out.
Okay.
That is a very interesting question. I mean, because again, if you go through that hardship, you get to get taught a lot of things. But to relive your best memory, I'm gonna relive the best memory.
And lastly, you all. Huh?
So I can continue to live, love, laugh, and spread it.
Indeed. Would you rather speak your truth and lose people or stay silent to keep them?
Child, this is already real life for me, period. My voice and my thoughts and how I feel. I've lost several people in my life. So go ahead, go on.
Now go ahead and go. Y'all, that literally concludes the Legacy Lounge. And I need some closing statements for you so I can give my final monologue and we can call this thing a
I thought you
dunces.
wanted to do a little association. Okay, I thought you had said you wanted to do that.
You know what? And the way my brain got set up, totally forgot about it. Totally forgot about it. But we can if you want to.
You can do a tiny round just because we're still here.
All right. So, y'all, again, because putting this show together has been wonderful. And again, I am so very glad for the folks who popped in, shared it, tapped that screen, got us to the 34.7, and actually stayed the entirety or most of the time. Thank you so very much, y'all. Again, this is literally a pop up show. And when we spoke yesterday, I was like, yo, Pam, let's go ahead and get your interview out the way. Because what are we doing? Next interview, we got Case Fast, then we have JV, and then the bros going to get together and interview me. So that's going to be interesting because, like I said, I don't know what type of questions they're going to ask me, but I'm willing to sit in the hot seat for you all. So this is a little song association. So I'm going to give him a word. He's going to give me a song.
I asked for it. Now I'm scared.
Funk is your first word. Funk.
Funk. Now it's so funny because I could definitely do what funk you up. Don't believe me, just watch. But I'm gonna do um feel the funk. Yeah, yeah. Let the rhythm. Oh my God, I can't remember the
Thank
lyrics.
you. Let the rhythm take you.
Well, well, well. Yes, that's Feel the Funk by Immature. Feel the
Hey.
funk. Feel it. Okay.
All right. Um, your next word is girl.
This is oh my God. There's so many different songs I can sing with "girl" in it. Okay,
Exactly.
because I could do it. If I wanted that girl, then I wanted that girl, but she ain't went for me. That's
Hey,
that's
I thought you were gonna do Destiny Child girl. That's what I
and the
thought.
first thing I thought was "girl," but because we in the Cap and Pat bag, definitely got to.
Hey.
Marcus, that's Marcus Houston's "That Girl." And a fun fact: Neo wrote that song.
Fun fact. What's going on, Ty Sings? It's been a while. How are you? Shout out there to Ty Sings and all the UGVs out there. Super talented group of individuals. And we love them. Always, always have love for the UGVs out here. So, y'all, we're not done with the song association because it's fun. All right. Next one. Breathe.
Breathe. Oh my God. That I shall never breathe, breathe again, breathe again. That I shall never breathe again.
I was hoping you was going to do that. That is my favorite Tony Braxton song. All right. How about eyes?
Um, you're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. I don't know the rest of the lyrics.
Be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. I believe that's the words, but I don't know. I thought you were gonna do Pretty Brown Eyes mint condition.
Oh, yes. Pretty brown eyes. I love that song too, but yes, I
Yeah,
thought
I
of
thought you were gonna do it. All right, lastly, heart.
heart.
You
Heart.
love this song. You love this song from Twilight.
Oh my God. I was going to do My Heart Will Go On, but because you said that, it's heart beats fast, colors and promises, how to be brave. 1,000 years. Oh my God. You want to talk about a love song? A song, people say, what's a song you wish you wrote? I wish I wrote 1,000 years. A beautiful,
Mm.
beautiful song.
I love that. So yeah, Fabin, that's our song association. We got to the nitty gritty. We put you on for 2 hours, you all, because look, we serving looks and we giving exclusive interviews over here at the Legacy Lounge, where music and culture and business all get together and make the perfect blend. And Fabin, you are the bestest guest I've had, but you're the only guest I've had, so it doesn't matter. You're still top tier. And again, be on the lookout for Case Pass's interview, my interview, and JV's interview with the Legacy Lounge. But it's not just us, okay? It's not just us. Again, I will reach out. Don't ask me because it got to make sense for the Legacy Lounge. Because if you're just doing stuff for a hobby, baby, this is not the hobby interview spot. This is let's get into it, have something to promote, actually have a story to tell, be interesting, and be able to answer these questions because they're going to be curated for you. So, Pappington McGee of Hambonian Land, give us your remarks, and I will close us out with my ending monologue.
Well, first and foremost, family, thank you guys so much for pulling up and listening to a little piece of my story. The fact of the matter is that you guys stuck around and actually indulged with us tonight means the world to me. I have been through a lot, and it's actually very cute without writing a book or a new song that I get to tell my story. So I really, really appreciate you guys for listening to this. My mom is in the chat. Mom, thank you so much for supporting me because again, what I didn't realize back in the day is that you've always done this. So thank you so much for being here like you always have been. Thank you guys so much for the gifts and just Cap, Cap is someone who's a friend of mine, but Cap is a person. She's a human being as well. She has goals and she has gifts. And this show is a part of both of those things, her gifts and her goals. So the fact of the matter is that we got to actually curate and then cultivate this experience. And it's happening. It's done. We did it. We did it.
It's here. First one done.
Tongue popping.
Crossed off the list.
And again,
I see you, Justin. Justin just popped on in.
Justin popped in.
Mr. Paul popped back in. Yes, indeed.
We didn't even get to talk much about that journey with my music as well, but one of my constant collaborators and one of my favorite collaborators. So, just thank y'all for following this journey. Continue to follow the journey of Verse and Vision Live, where you get to know myself more, Cap more, JV more, K-Spaz more. We hope to learn more about you all. I told you it's my dream to do a VVL album. I'm putting that in the space, and I'm hoping we can make it happen eventually. And I'm always going to tell y'all to live, love, laugh, and spread that shit.
And also remember that this will be uploaded to the YT, y'all, tonight. Sometime it take a little longer because the episode is long. This is a 2-hour episode. So make sure also Pat versus Cap is coming. And it will be debate style, and you will know. First topic, we ain't telling you, got to pull up. No, we're going to post it in the chat. Again, it has to make sense. We're going to try to do it in the daytime hours because we want max viewership. Doesn't mean that there won't be one possibly at 1 a.m. for the spicier topics. But, for the more mainstream things, we're definitely going to do something during the day. So, y'all, again, this is the first one. I feel good about it. I really feel like I'm in my Gayle King bag right now. But seriously, asking those questions that maybe you never thought you wanted to hear or know. But now you know what makes Pappin a tick to a degree. So y'all get into it. Thank you so very much. They better have learned some new stuff. I mean,
you learn anything new?
Did I learn new things?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course. I was processing. Y'all listen, my processing face looks a lot different. So, don't mind me. Sometimes it comes across a little spacey, but trust me, I was in it. All right. Thank you so very much for joining us, y'all. 37.6K. Also for the shares. Thank y'all so very much. Thank you, the cook and the poet and the familia. Thank you for the follow. For everybody who joined us. First episode of the Legacy Lounge. Thank you for the repost and all of the things. Again, I will be doing separate clips of this interview as well. I will be posting them as highlights because I already know after we close this, they're not going to give us no highlights. But we're definitely going to give you the full interview. Y'all just be mindful. It'll be up tonight, probably within a couple hours. I don't know how long it's going to take to upload it. But the Legacy Lounge, again, thank you so very much for joining us on the Legacy Lounge, where conversation meets intention. This is more than just an interview. It's a curated experience built around real people, real journeys, and real moments. Here, we don't ask the same questions you've heard 100 times. We ask questions that matter. The ones that make you pause, reflect, and sometimes even rediscover yourself. Every episode is designed to be personal, meaningful, and one of a kind, because no two stories are ever the same. So whether you're here to be inspired, encouraged, or simply reminded that your story matters, welcome once again. This is the Legacy Lounge. I am your hostess with the mostest, Cap Rivera, just doing what I do. And that's most importantly showing up for you, giving you great content, original content. And thank y'all so very much for sharing the space with us on tonight. And I'm super grateful for everybody that showed up because it was short notice. But I've been telling you it's coming, so here it is. Again, you can catch me. I'm nightly, depending on my schedule, either 5 or 1 a.m. in the morning with the Crescendo Club, which is the nightcap, you all. Goes by various names, But this also is the Legacy Lounge. That was a long time coming. Be on the lookout for Battle Royale at a 3K, y'all. It is coming soon. We're about 120 away from that, y'all. It is incentivized prize. So you want to make sure that you share it out. Tell your friends to follow us so we can get to the 3K quicker. Also, K Spaz with SOS. Also, he is doing a soliloquy and syllables. And also, he is launching Loop and Language, another show that has been on the back burner. Again, these shows were all, made in 2025, but now just finally coming into fruition. There are a lot of shows that I just haven't rolled out yet. Pat versus Cap is coming. Y'all, a dating show is coming. Hello, just saying. There are many things coming, and I can tell you all of them.
You're gonna have family feud.
I want you to keep looking. What'd you say?
The game shows too, because y'all gonna have some family feud with Pat.
Yes, the Mic Drop Mania, y'all. I literally put all of these shows in a post, a few posts down, and it was pinned for a long time. So if you just scroll it, you'll be like, oh, wait, she never told us. I did. Okay, so Mic Drop Mania is the game show, the Legacy Lounge, Loop and Language, Aria and Anthem. There's so many, y'all. The Vocal Eclipse. There's so many shows that have to be launched. So thank y'all so very much on behalf of myself, First and Vision Live, aka For the Culture, K-Spaz, Pappin, and JV. We thank you. We love you. And as I always say, even though this ain't the nightcap, in the meantime, oh, you said wait a minute, get into 40? Yeah. Get us to 40.
Get to 40. Get it to 40. Get it
Come
to
on,
40.
Pappin. Freestyle for him.
40. Get it to 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 40. Tap it up. Get it to 40.
Come on.
40. 40. 40. 40. 40. 40.
And Pappin, if somebody wanted to reach out to you about vocal lessons or arranging or writing songs, they can do so, yes?
Yes, send money first, and then let me stop.
Only serious folks, y'all. Serious.
On a serious note, family, I'm always here. Listen, reach out to me again. Inquiries about vocal production, songwriting advice, creative endeavors. I'm willing to find out if I can help out what you need. You know what I'm saying? And again, right now, these services are stuff I'm just offering. Eventually, we'll be charging for. But in the meantime, hit me up. I'm your boy, Pat.
Better get it while it's free. Y'all better get it while it's free. Thank you so very much for tapping us up to 40K plus. It was a vibe. Thank you so very much to the mods out there who showed up for us on tonight. Yes. Nisha, Lo, and Shakia. Thank you. Yes. I saw y'all. Appreciate you for the repost as well. Thank you for the flowers and the gift goals. I didn't even put a single gift goal up there. So thank you so very much, because it was more so about the moment. But I am super appreciative because, again, we just reinvest the gifts, and we just turn them into regifting or putting them toward incentivized things. Once again, check our TikTok shop. We do have sales going on with the Berry Ripe Rhythm, 55% off. We also have a sale, I want to say 50% off on the Cocoa Melody. And there's another one, but it just escapes me. Again, 8-ounce candles do come on a bundle with a wax warmer, but I am keeping count on where the wax warmers are going. So if you're a repeat person, y'all, I'm not sending a wax warmer for repeat orders. Y'all already have them, okay? And you don't need a million of them just sitting around your house. So trust me, I know who orders. So make sure same day, depending on when you order, or next day for me to ship it out. I do have, once again, for Unique Monique Boutique, an order going out tomorrow. She scooped hers up. She got 2 more of the Berry Ripe Rhythm going out there to Alabama. So y'all, it don't have to be for y'all. It could be for other people. Okay, but understand that some of these, the 8 ounces are coming with perks, not only the warmer, but I'm gonna throw a little razzle and dazzle in there for you. Don't know what yet, whatever my heart feels like, but I will do that for y'all. So once again, thank you so very much. This is the Legacy Lounge. Be on the lookout for more episodes coming. Again, I will reach out to the folks that I feel like are a good fit. Do not ask me. Okay, I will reach out to you to say, hey, I think this could work. All right. So, y'all, as I always say, thank you so very much. Pappington McGee, as I call him, but you can't. Of Hambunian, because it's an inside joke that we have. And he calls me what? Because you ain't called me all episode.
Well, Cleophasira, Tamisha Qua, Imperioli.
And there it is. And that is not my name, just for anybody wondering. But he can call me that, but you can't. Thank you so very much, y'all. As I always say, in the meantime, I like this beat. In the meantime, and in between time, later. Love y'all. Mean it. See you next time. Hey.
Live, love, life. Spread it. Live, love, life. Spread it. Spread it, spread it, spread it. Spread it, spread it, spread it.
Hey.